Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. With that, we're out to Arrowhead for the call from Kansas City. We'll hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club, and they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they come in wondering what on earth is going on here as they sit in last place at 0-7.
And it's really...
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the NFL's most valuable player from 2015. It's Cam Newton.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Newton on first down. And his first look is incomplete. And quickly now, a look at the Kansas City offense.
Out wide was the youngest player in the NFL in 2017, Juju Smith-Schuster. And he also had the longest reception in the league last season at 97 yards. Actually well-schooled in route running and able to run from both outside and moving inside to the slot position in order to make big plays.
The numbers in last week's contest for Ingram: 7 catches, 54 yards.
This defense is ranked near the bottom of the league against the pass. You get the sense that he feels like if he gets covered on any call, he's going to be upset. He thinks he should be open on every snap in this game.
They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. A look now at the starters defensively for the Broncos. Right now, they're ranked number 29 in the NFL against the pass, so 4th from the bottom, Charles.
They're in the bottom 10 in the league. I mean, when you look at their talent, you would think that they would be much better. Overall, I don't think there's any question you'd have to say that they've underachieved.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Again, Newton. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Cam's going to run the option right. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Defensively, they better figure something out. Opening drive, he already has 4 catches.
And if you have to figure out how to stop him defensively, that usually means you weaken your defense. That means that now the offense is doing the dictating, and they should have other things open up as well.
12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool him.
Oh, ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by Anderson Aho. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You gonna let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So they'll walk him back half the distance. They go play action here on first down. And he goes down. Dalton couldn't get rid of it, and that will be a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's pile this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
And now here comes Kansas City. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one will go for 9 yards and a first down on the keeper.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And Ingram holds it in.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Eluding the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you. And in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
And on the ground they go with a running back. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
2nd down, Dalton. Rashard Matthews here on the catch. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38.
Holding offense.
So that one will be accepted. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case,
it's 2nd down. Dalton looking. And he hits on the slant route to Marshall. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
you can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play, and 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And now here comes Kansas City. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Shaheen, the tight end, on the right side. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
That was another good run, and he's having an excellent day. And right now, I don't think his team could have any more confidence in handing him the football.
Throwing is Newton. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. From the 50, Newton. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard. They go back to the ground now with Barkley, and he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the 2nd quarter. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. from the gun. Here's Newton. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And Gold is able to put it through, and that will give us the very rare scoreline of 5-0. So it's our first offensive points of the game so far, and it gives us a very rare scoreline. We don't see this one often, 5-0.
Yeah, it's been sort of a weird one to this point, hasn't it? But hey, in this league, you take points any way you can get them.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Dalton throwing on 2nd down. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He got 29 yards that time. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. And Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this one's incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. And this one caught by Max Williams. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now's a play caller. Because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Play action here with Dalton. That was hit, and Dalton lost the football. But it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. The situation changes a bit now. 1st and goal from back at the 10. Dalton here from the gun. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That's good for a gain of 6. 2nd and goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just working the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And this is complete. It's Marshall. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. Dalton on 3rd and goal. And this is going to be incomplete. It was a safety, Kevin Byard, that time, who was able to knock it away.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure. Yeah,
they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They fake the give. Newton. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
To throw is Newton. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, I'd be at practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers. That meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And he's got Snead. And he's going to first down, yardage to the 35. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game. And they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Newton now to throw. Finds Roberts left side. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down. Back to throw, Newton. Good work by that Bronco defense, and it leads to a 4th down.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football. Incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And this winds up a disaster, nowhere near the marker. They pass up the 3, fake it, it doesn't work. Well, that was an intriguing call. You got a chip shot field goal. Tight game. Why not just take the 3?
I know that not all the old rules apply in today's NFL. And, in fact, I'd love to have an analytics coach here with us right now to say why that was probably a good play. I don't know if even the analytics coach would have said that. That seemed like a bad play. Take the points there and move on.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Dalton now to pass. And incomplete here on 3rd down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. Buying time to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the 1st.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding him to no gain.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Newton on third down. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And Gold is able to put it through. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Now they'll run on the ball, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and the Chiefs are going to get him. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And that's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And Ingram holds it in. And he will have the first down as he's up to his 17-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. On 1st and 10, Newton. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there, almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he's able to get up here to the 26. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
To Barkley on the check down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Throwing is Newton. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Newton now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. So that throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
To throw on second down is Newton. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. On first down, it's Newton. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard. You probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you. Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be third down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
This throw caught right around the 6. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. To throw on second down, Newton. This is caught. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes. They'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal. Again, Newton. Flushed out right. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Cam Newton with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. Gold now out to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
You've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. Dalton, 1st and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's James. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Passing. It's Dalton. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
He's got his man. It's Williams. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. On that quick throw, what do you think? Possibly something they saw at the line to go there?
Possibly in the game plan, and you notice they went with an empty backfield. No backs there to help with pass protection, so you have to have a counter to that because you know they're probably going to bring pressure when they see an empty backfield. So you get rid of the ball quickly. Quick drop, ball's out of the quarterback's hands, keeps it from getting hit, and they get a completion. And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. And they'll go on the ground. And now running right through it. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Willie Snead, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Broncos cut into that lead. Myers connects on the PAT, and that will get him one closer. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing him all sorts of trouble. Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 24 yards. Now Newton on 1st down. Flush to his right. Open space inside the 10. And all the way down to the 5. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Oh, my Cam. There's times when I'm not analyzing up here. I'm just appreciating. Led NFL quarterbacks in rushing last year. He is truly the ultimate weapon at that position.
Newton able to get away. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Taco Charlton, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off.
And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Evan Ingram, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Chiefs add on to their lead. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Well, he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Robert Ayers in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And the pressure gets to him again. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing, so they'll go for it on 4th down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Big 4th down here. It's Dalton. Now a desperation throw deep down into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position. I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On the run, it's Barkley. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Kansas City, they'll finish the first half of the schedule dead even at 4-4. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Denver, changes could be in the air as they fall to 0-8 now on the year. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Houston Texans. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.